it up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
Don't let that team stand in the way. He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
Oh, Graham Rucker for the touchdown. Kraft shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Off and running here on a Thursday. I'm Brandon Beam, hanging out tonight with Dave Biddle and, of course, our man Jacob Reimer, a.k.a. Rhyme Time Behind the Glass. Bids, a very happy Scotland Thursday to you. What's happening, buddy? Good to talk to you.
Great to see you as always, Beamer. How you doing, my friend?
Doing good. Yeah, doing well. Woke up this morning and I said, smells like Buckeye football out in the air. Smelled like a chilly November day out there with Ohio State getting ready for a noon kick against a big-time opponent. That's what I felt like. I mean, I walked outside. It was gray. I said, this is it. This is football weather right here. Got the pants on, got the hoodie, was ready to rock. Tell you what, doesn't feel like summer's right around the corner, but feels like football season is. 100 days to go.
About time we had some rain here in May. We haven't had enough of that.
No.
Finally, we end the drought. Oh, wait, is this like the wettest May we've had?
Yeah, my mom got back from Florida a couple of weeks ago, and she's like, man, it's cold and rainy up here. I'm like, well, yeah, this is what it is. This is what it is. This is what we got going
Football
for us.
Weather.
But don't worry about it. It'll be better soon. I was looking at the advanced weather scouting forecast for next week at the Memorial Tournament. 1 day of rain, looks like Saturday, but Thursday, Friday, Sunday, like mid-70s and sunshine.
I love it. And by the way, like forecasts like that, like never change that far in advance.
No,
so
never.
You can lock that absolutely down.
Yeah, hammer it in at minus 135. Just lock it in. Lock in a futures bet on only 1 day of rain next week for the Memorial Tournament. We did have some big college football news bids. We got a great show lined up for you here this evening. Talk a little format change right out of the gates here. Texas unwilling to play Ohio State at night, which I saw Pat Murphy write that story from a little bit earlier. We'll get into that.
That's their call, by the way.
It is
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, so we'll get into that.
They're still mad about that semifinal loss in their own state, apparently.
I'm going to give you a heads-up warning. All right, we're going to do this in the 7 o'clock hour. If you had to pick one Buckeye to send out to battle to represent the top 25 players so far in all of college football since the turn of millennia, who would it be? We'll get to that in the 7 o'clock hour. Just think about that. Workshop that because there was a list put out, and there was one Buckeye in the top 25, so we'll get into that a little bit later. But there are reports out there today that changes are coming to the college football playoff. Executives from the college football playoff are scheduled for a call, which already happened. And Ross Dellinger of Yahoo reporting that they are expected to adopt a straight seeding model for the 2025 playoff. It would also feature a financial compromise of some kind. Welcome to college football in 2025. Handshaking, money coming in, money coming out. You got to be guaranteed the money. But we are going to straight seeding bids. We found that out last week that could be the case. And poof, fast forward, here we are on Thursday, May 22nd, and now that is the case.
I love it. Like I have no problem with the conference champions being like guaranteed a spot, even the Big 12, ACC. I love that the group of 5, the highest ranked group of 5 team is in the field. But yeah, I mean, the way the seeding was last year was pretty abysmal. Did it work out well for Ohio State? Yes.
Well,
would it have mattered in the end? Maybe not.
On paper, not really.
Well, it made it more fun. It definitely didn't work out for Oregon.
No.
Because you got to play Ohio State the first game. And then you have the revenge factor. By the way, you're playing, if you think you're the best team in the nation, you're playing at least the second best team in the nation. As it turns out, it's the best team in the nation. And they have the revenge factor. Now it's on a neutral field. You did beat them, but you beat them by 1 point at your place, which is one of the toughest places to play in the country. Do I feel bad for Oregon? No. I'm glad that the Buckeyes won the national title. But, man, Oregon kind of got screwed last year. Beamer, I'm just glad that they got this right. I'm really glad they got this right. I thought they would just be like, just boneheaded about it and not do the right thing. So I'm glad they did the right thing here.
I am too. And if you were wondering what a college football playoff would have looked like last year if they would have done the straight seeding, well, good news for you. I have that in front of me. So your matchups, instead of Ohio State, Tennessee, Penn State, SMU, yada, 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 whatever. The 8-9 matchup, if we're going straight seeding from last year, would have yielded Boise State versus Indiana. Okay? Can I interest you in that? That sounds pretty good. That game would have been played at the Quarry in Indiana because Boise State was the 9th-ranked team. So that game would have been played here instead of being played on a neutral site because then Boise did automatically get the bid. You would have had Clemson and Notre Dame. Clemson visiting South Bend to go to Notre Dame. So that would have been a little preview of their future 12-year series that they just signed a couple of weeks ago. You would have had Arizona State here on that cold Saturday night in December. You think Tennessee had a tough time in that wickedly cold environment at the Horseshoe? How do you think that the Sun Devils would have done?
I will say the Arizona State fans would have been smart enough not to try to rename Ohio Stadium Sun Devil Stadium.
No.
They would have stayed clear of that.
Sun Devil East?
They would not. The Neyland North thing is still hilarious to me. They're like, Neyland North, we're going to take over the stadium. That was like halfway through the first quarter, they're like, oh boy.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
We
Look at
stepped
this.
into a hornet's nest.
Yes, we're in big trouble.
Yeah, that was, so I was talking to DeVere last night, and he goes, which game of the playoff run would you put on before the start of that Texas game to really get you in the mindset? Because all four of them were, ultimately you ended with Notre Dame. You had the third in Jeremiah. Like that, that's the national championship game. You had the scoop and score from Jack Sawyer in the Texas game, which was the best game out of anything. You demolishing Oregon with the revenge factor out in the Rose Bowl. Obviously, that was a kick your feet back up and kind of relax in the second half kind of game. I went with Tennessee. I'm like, for years we have clamored for a Southern team to come up north in the winter, and they were about that life. I give them credit. They wanted it. They wanted the smoke. And by the end of the game, you had SEC chants ringing out through the Horseshoe on a cold December night. So I picked that game if I'm going to go one to fire me up for the Texas game.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. It's, I guess if I had to pick, it'd be it'd probably be that one. It's hard to pick against the national championship game. And what's funny, Beamer, if this was we're in debate club, I could pick any one of those games and make a great debate, I think, for it. I think I could make a great case for any of those games.
Yeah, I agree.
It's crazy. When you think about that run they went on, I never thought we'd see anything crazier than 2014. The way that worked out with 59-0 against Wisconsin when everybody had written them off.
The title fight against Bama.
They don't even deserve to get in. They go down to New Orleans and beat Bama.
That, by the way, just with that setting, with it being New Orleans, it was so good too. Because you were, I was down there. I was a college student at the time. You were in the throngs of enemy territory, all right? We got down there. I forget. The game was played New Year's Day, right? New Year's Day evening.
Yes, because I remember going down, my wife came down with me. So I remember going down New Year's Eve, hanging out Bourbon Street and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just keep it close. Keep it close. We got Cardell. It's third string quarterback. Maybe we can keep it in the fourth quarter. Keep it, maybe something. Instead, if the Buckeyes didn't shoot themselves in the foot early, they actually physically beat down Bama. They physically beat, that could have been even it ended up being a 7-point game. That could have been worse. They got down 21-3. Ohio State did, obviously, but they really physically beat the crap out of them. If you look at the yardage, Ohio State really had a big advantage in total yards in that game. And then Oregon, the next game, they were still Beamer. What were they, 7.5-point underdogs, 6.5 at least?
Yeah.
And they blow out Oregon.
And Oregon went right down the field at that first possession and scored a touchdown.
Just like Notre Dame.
Yep.
Just like that. I thought we'd never see anything like that as far as a postseason run from Ohio State. 10 years later, first year of the expanded playoff. Something about the expanded playoff that Ohio State does well with. But
it's expanded again in 26.
There you go. So you can just lock it down. Ohio State, when it expands in 2026, they're going to win it all. But yeah, man, it was it's still, we're not even that far removed from it. It's still surreal to me, thinking back on those four games. But you're right. I think I would pick the Tennessee game because. Well,
just remember the 2 weeks between the Michigan loss and the kickoff to that game.
It was more than 2 weeks, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah. Well, I think
3 weeks?
Tennessee was December 28th. I think we had to live through.
Oh, it was December 20th was the date of it.
Oh, okay. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Well, then, yeah, because,
Right.
it was still 3 weeks then. It would have been the end of November. Yeah, it would have been 3 weeks. But those 3 weeks, Bids, you lived through it. We all lived through it. it was full of vitriol. And I had no clue which Ohio State team was going to show up. It's this team can beat Tennessee. Are they? I don't know.
At Neyland North, can they get it done?
Yeah, right. With this, we were having conversations saying, would it be better to play a road game in this situation? No.
No one was having that conversation other than Kirk Herbstreit and his imaginary friends. No one else was having that conversation.
It was
the
just
lunatic fringe.
It was such a wild time. But yeah, reports are today that the college football playoff executives did make the move today, which eliminates the straight up highest 4 ranked conference champions getting the bye, and now you're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. They get the bye, and the rest will be filled out from there. Your other matchup would have been SMU at Tennessee, and then if you project how everything would have gone just by the lower seeds bid, you would have had a Oregon, Indiana classic Rose Bowl Big Ten game in the quarterfinals. You would have had Penn State at Notre Dame, which was actually around before it got played because that got played in the semis. You would have had Texas and Ohio State. That game ultimately got played as well, and then you would have had Georgia, Tennessee. Thereon, you would have been off to the races. But, yeah, I'm cool with this. And it also, too, side note, gives Notre Dame an advantage because now if they are ranked top 4 at the end of the season, they can earn a bye, which is something in this previous college football playoff rules they were never able to achieve.
I think that's fair.
I agree.
Yeah, why? If they're in the top 4, okay. That means, because if Notre Dame's in the top 4, they're probably undefeated.
I know they don't have a loss to Northern Illinois.
Probably not. How funny is that? Like, you could have made a lot of money, or like, after they lost to Northern Illinois, just for them to make the CFP, like, the odds were like astronomical. Imagine the odds for Notre Dame to make the national championship game after they lost to Northern Illinois. I mean, there was
no chance. There was heat around Marcus, the whole song and dance. Like, it was
right.
It was a lot of smoke around him. Like, you just have to win the games you're supposed to win, and they ultimately did that and made a national championship game. So, yeah, that was the big news from today. College football playoff is seeding. You want to talk about the first game out of the gates for the Buckeyes? Because it turns out Texas wants no part of the horseshoe at night. At least that's what I'm saying to myself. That's next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
This is the sound of a popular American motorcycle. It's the sound of freedom, the open road, really good times. And this is what it sounds like with a drunk guy in it. How do you like the sound of that? Cops are cracking down on drunk motorcycle riders. If you ride drunk, you will get caught and you will get arrested. Drunk riding. Over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Have you ever told a friend?
Oh, I'm fine.
When you really felt?
Just so overwhelmed.
Or sent a text?
Can't sleep. Are you awake?
When you couldn't find the words to say?
I'm scared to be alone with my thoughts right now.
Then this is your sign to reach out to the 988 Lifeline for 24/7 free confidential support. You don't have to hide how you feel. Text, call, or chat anytime.
For over 30 years, Schumacher Homes has been building affordable custom homes throughout the Buckeye State. Experience true customization on your land, your way, without any compromises. Come visit any of our 9 Ohio model home and design studio locations to see the latest in design trends and learn about our award-winning building process, or start online at schumacherhomes.com. You'll be surprised how affordable a custom home will be. Schumacher Homes, proud home building sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
The future of recycling is now at Rumpke Waste and Recycling. The recycling leader has opened North America's largest, most technologically advanced recycling center right here in Central Ohio. This one-of-a-kind facility features interactive displays, educational opportunities, and the ability to process over 60 tons of recycled material per hour. Rumpke is committed to recycling and sustainability efforts, and for more than 90 years, Rumpke has worked to make sure the items you place in your recycling bin get used again. Visit Rumpke.com to learn how you can team with Rumpke to put less trash in our landfills and more of it to good use.
After an audit of our programming, the suits here at The Fan decided we needed more baseball. And that common man is stupid. Good news, we fixed one of those problems. Catch the Reds on The Fan all season long. Yay, baseball.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith, Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
Things are popping at Al's Delicious Popcorn. With over 80 flavors to choose from, we have something for everyone. From classics like caramel cashew, white cheddar, and our famous vanilla butternut, to new flavors like chicken and waffles and spicy barbecue. They are all made fresh and they are all delicious. Visit us online at alspopcorn.com or come see us and experience the best service in town at 1500 Bethel Road in Columbus. Al's Delicious Popcorn.
Fan weather
from the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Cloudy, breezy, and cool on this Thursday with temperatures in the mid to upper 50s with a few light showers around. Overnight, we'll fall back down to the low 40s with cloudy skies continuing. A bit of sunshine in the first part of your Friday. We'll see temperatures back around 60 degrees, more clouds, and a few light showers in the afternoon. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
The best damn radio show in the land. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
We're here on The Buckeye Show, sponsored by our great friends over at Coors Light. When those mountains are blue, you know that they're as cold as the Rockies. I might have a couple of those tonight. That sounds pretty good. Well, Thursday, I got up today. I got to be honest with you. I got up this morning. I said, all right, we got bids in the saddle tonight. It's going to be great. It's going to be a nice show. We get to talk to Murph at 6:30. We got the Power 5 coming up. And then I said, oh, no, it's Thursday, not Friday. I advanced myself one day early. The whole day, it felt like Friday to me until I got to noon and I started working on the show. I'm like, it's only Thursday. I had to take off bits of tomorrow's show because it was not the correct day.
It's May.
I know.
That's what we say. Like, it's May. Like, what are you going to do? Like, we do things like for Bucknuts, for example, speaking of Patrick Murphy.
Yeah.
Like, we're like, man, I can't believe I'm running this story or that story. It's like, well, quote unquote, it's May. Like, what are you going to do? You got to find something to do.
Yeah, you got, and there's plenty of storylines too to get into. Are the girls out of school?
Yes. Well, my youngest still has another week. My oldest just graduated high school last night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
I'm so old.
Did we have the graduation ceremony and everything?
At the Shot, which was really cool, seeing my daughter graduate at the Shot. Like, I'd been there like many times as a fan, and then like more than that as a reporter.
Yeah.
I covered the team throughout the Thad Matta era. I no longer cover like basketball. Steve Hellwagon and Patrick Murphy do a great job of that for us at Bucknuts. But it was really cool seeing her graduate at the Shot of all places.
That's got to be a cool moment as a dad. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, just because I mean we're in the thralls of a 2-year-old right now, so that seems like it's a long ways away,
by,
and it
my
is,
friend.
and that's what everybody says. Like the days are long, but the years are short, right?
Exactly. That's exactly right. Yeah, it's a cliche, but it's true. It does feel like that. And but yeah, it was really cool being at the Shot last night and seeing my daughter graduate.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I just have to tell myself that I need to enjoy this time when he's taking a 6-pound hard plastic Buzz Lightyear doll and just throwing him across the room onto the hardwood. Bang! Our dog gets so nervous. He runs upstairs. Buzz fell down, and I'm like, there's a distinct difference between Buzz falling down and you hurling Buzz 15 feet across the room.
Part of you's like, he's got a good arm.
Of course I do.
Look at that arm.
And he usually throws it lefty, too.
Oh, there you go.
Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel really good about it.
If you throw 89 miles an hour, you're probably book it. You're going to be an MLB pitcher if you're left-handed.
He is more built like a 3 technique than a Major League Baseball pitcher.
That's all right.
At least now.
That's all right. Hey, there's some big pitchers out there.
What's the, why am I blanking the guy for the Mets?
Bartolo Colon.
Yeah, he's like Bartolo Colon. Thank you,
David
Brian.
Price.
David Price. Yeah. Or prime CC Sabathia.
CC Sabathia, there you go. The Reds have a guy in the minor leagues named Zach Maxwell, who's 6'6", 275.
What
He throws
about,
103 miles an hour. And last year he had a great quote. He's like, I just learned to get with being fat and throwing it past everybody. I'm like, heck yeah, man.
What was the old Reds pitcher? Alfredo Simone, Big Pasta.
Alfredo Simone.
Yeah, they used to call him Big Pasta.
Didn't they trade who? They got a Suarez for him, I think, straight up from the Tigers.
That's a nice deal.
Eugenio Suarez.
Yeah, so he's a great Red. But yeah, so he's throwing things lefty, and I'm feeling all right about it. But we'll see what he wants to do. Whatever he wants to play.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we'll be behind him. So we have been talking about this for about 10 days now or so, Bids, that Fox released the graphic. They put it out. They said Texas versus Ohio State. Noon. And then they retracted that. And everybody said, oh, okay, well, maybe Ohio State fans and Texas fans are going to bully Fox into not having that game at noon. According to 24/7 Sports, the outlet that you work for, also Pat Murphy wrote about this today on Bucknuts. It turns out that Ohio State has been trying to move that game away from the noon spot. All right. They had requested that their Cotton Bowl rematch against Texas week 1 to be moved to the primetime spot on Sunday, either in the late afternoon or the evening. And according to 24/7 Sports, Texas said no to the request, so the game will remain on the schedule as scheduled. It'll likely be a noon kickoff. It's not official, but here's what I'm thinking happened. Ross Bjork went to Fox, said, hey, I'm getting a lot of pushback for having noon games. We had 6 of these suckers in a row at the end of last year. Can you give us some leeway? Can you give us the night game? Got to check with Texas. Texas came back and said, I think an 11 o'clock body start game for us would be much better. We don't want any part of seeing the horseshoe at night. That's at least what I'm thinking. I know that's probably not true. They have other reasons, I'm sure, it being a short week. But listen, both teams would have a short week. But since it went to the desk of Texas, Texas straight up rejection stamp. No thanks.
I don't fault Texas if they had that stance. That'd be a wise stance. It's like when we learn, Ohio State, Penn State at Penn State last year was not going to be a whiteout. Right?
So,
that's cool. Hey, big noon. Let's go. So I'm not going to hate on Texas.
So true
for that stance. But why would Fox acquiesce to a school from the SEC that they're no longer? No, I almost said no longer. They're not partners with. Why would they acquiesce? Ohio, and by the way, they're not just partners with the Big Ten and not partners with the SEC. Who's the cash cow of the Big Ten? Ohio State. Why are you going to do what Texas wants? Fox should just say, we're going to do what we want. And Beamers, I love when Fox comes out hey, when people complain about the big noon kickoff, the ratings are actually really good for Ohio State.
Well, yes, wow. Even though people complain, they still watch.
Can you imagine? Could you think if they put those same games that you're talking about, the good ratings for Ohio State at 8 o'clock, you think they would be as good or better? Because they would be.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest straw man argument ever. The ratings are good at noon. Of course they're good at noon. You could put Ohio State on at Wednesday at 4 a.m. The ratings would be good. The question is, would they be better? And would it be better overall for Ohio State to have this game at 8 o'clock instead of noon? Yes, it would be. And Beamer, selfishly, I like noon games. I like them. But, I'm going to take that out of the mix here. It's good for the game. It's good for Ohio State. It's good for everything to have this game at 8 o'clock. So, hopefully, Fox does the right thing here. Ross Bjork needs to throw his weight around here.
I think he's trying. I think he's trying his best, for sure. But I do like the fact that they did go to Fox. And they said, listen, fans aren't happy about this. Is there any chance that we can move this? And if you want to think about a clear the schedule out, you're talking Sunday of Labor Day in prime time. You want to talk about a ratings bonanza and a cash cow for that game. So what? You're going to have a short week on the back end of it. It's only you have 100 days to prepare for this game. You got 6 more days to prepare for. Who does Ohio State have their second game? Grambling, I think. I'm not sure who Texas has on their schedule. I'm pretty sure on a short week you can get ready for whoever you have for your second opponent.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Ohio State does have to play Ohio University, the defending MAC champions, the following week.
I said earlier.
So
put that game at night. That game's got a lot. That game's got a lot of pop to it.
Heck yeah.
You bring those guys up from Athens. They're coming off a MAC championship.
Yes.
You have a lot of OU, oh yeah fans here in Central Ohio. They're not that far away. I'd say put that game at night because I think Ohio State fans and Ohio fans in the same stadium with multiple hours to tailgate, just don't let Brutus and the Bobcat get together again.
Right.
And make sure that doesn't happen.
That game should be at Halloween.
Yeah, we should put that one there.
Man, Halloween in Athens. Did you ever go to Halloween at OU?
I never did OU as a college kid. Meredith and I did it a couple of years ago. It was 2021. We were dinks, dual income, no kid. I don't even think we had a dog at that point.
Oh, you guys were living the life.
Yeah, so we just went down there and hung out one afternoon. It was awesome, and I don't even think class was in session. I'm like, this is a beautiful town. I can imagine 20,000 people out on is it Court Street?
Court Street and State Street.
Yeah.
Thank goodness one of my best friends. I really had 2 best friends growing up. One of them went to OU. Shout out James. He's still in Columbus. I'm sure he's listening to the show right now. But yeah, I visited my friend James many times, including a couple times at Halloween. They do it right down there, man.
That's what I've heard. Rhyme Time, you're freshly out of college. Have you done the OU experience?
Not like Halloween, but I went down there for a couple 3-on-3 tournaments.
Well, Gus Macker. I'm showing my age.
Why were you down there for 3-on-3?
I'm showing my
I never went down there to party. You just went down there to watch basketball. You're sick. You know
No,
that?
I was playing in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys even know what Gus Macker is?
No.
You don't?
I flew right by that.
We used to do 3-on-3. That was called Gus Macker. These 3-on-3 tournaments that would just pop up and you would sign up.
They still have those.
It was a Gus Macker. It was like a big deal. Like when I know I'm old. This is like in the 90s and late 90s. We would play in these like 3-on-3 tournaments all over Ohio. These Gus Macker tournaments.
They still have them.
Gus Macker.
Yeah, they still have
I don't think
them.
the one that I played in was a Gus Macker, but because like if you won, you got tickets to an NBA game or NFL game of your choice.
Did you guys win?
No, we I think one year I made it to like the semis.
All right, that's pretty good.
And everybody would lie about like because you would get like placed based on your experience. So if you played like college ball, you know, people would lie and be like, oh, yeah, my highest level was like varsity ball. If you played varsity high school ball, I'd be like, yeah, I played a little intramural in like junior high or whatever. Like, so it was like
I led my team to an intramural
everybody was
championship.
lying. So, like, yeah. So, like, we had one guy on our team that played like D3 college. Like, do not say that. First of all, you shouldn't have ever, you're not really a college player anyway. Like, really, D3, you didn't even play. Like, don't even say you played college.
We got one in Chillicothe, May 31st, Rhyme Time. If you want to fire it back up, you can do it next weekend.
I might have to.
I think you should. I think you should go. I mean, can you still give us a few good minutes off the bench?
Absolutely.
Okay.
He looks like he could.
Oh, yeah, for sure. More than me. I got some good fouls to give. That's about all I'm bringing you.
Beamer's our enforcer, man. Just bring him in there just to crack skull. He's our James Johnson.
I'll set screens. I'll jump 4 inches off the ground. I will throw very hard elbows.
Did you see Karl Anthony Towns tap him on the chest after he made a 3 right in front of him? I was like, oh, I don't know if you want to do that, Cat.
He's like, please don't beat me up if there is a fight, Mr. James Johnson.
Yeah, this sounds good. I'm in. I'm in for whatever basketball we got going on here on this show. Sign me up.
The three of us, we can get it done.
How would you like to have your name cemented in legacy? Well, some Buckeyes just had that dream come to life. That's coming up here in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
When we started the company, I was absolutely going to build my own plant. We can build a very, very good window and sell it at a reasonable price. And if you buy from a company that is a dealer, they have to order the part from the factory, have it sent, and then schedule a service. I got 500 locks out back. If you need a lock, it'll take me 15 seconds to walk back here and grab one for you.
Visit Rosati Windows by the end of this month and get 35% off all windows and doors.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
It's Kubota Orange Days. From America's #1 selling compact tractor to zero-turn mowers and versatile RTVs, get your perfect match delivered to your door. Now through June 30th, get zero down, 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,500 off BX23S tractors. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Visit BuckeyeKubotaDealers.com to find a dealer near you. Donato's is bringing you huge savings on a large pizza. For a limited time, get any large one-topping Donato's pizza for just $10.99 when you order online and pick it up. That's right, just $10.99. I'm going with that pepperoni. But hey, you pick your favorite topping, then pick up your large one-topping pizza for just $10.99 when you order online using promo code PICKUP. That's promo code PICKUP. Pick up your Donato's and save today.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
If you still have a weird rash from jumping in Mirror Lake, we can be friends. This is the Buckeye Show.
Shout out to everybody watching the show on YouTube. A lot of Gus Macker comments so far today. Nate says, Gus Macker, wow, flashbacks. Stan used to have a big Gus Macker tourney up in Galleon. And then on Twitter, Balboni, he said, didn't they give out toilet bowl awards for last place team in Gus Macker? I'm all for that. I don't know, Rhyme Time, you played in one of these bad boys. Did you ever get last place and experience that?
No, I did not.
Okay, good.
I think I have seen those trophies, though.
Oh, so they're real trophies.
I think they are real, yeah.
Good for them. I mean, I think if it was me, you, Bids, and you, Rhymer, in a 3-on-3 tournament, we have to be heavy favorites to take home that toilet bowl award. Have to be.
I'm heavy favorite to like be gassed after like the first one to get gassed in a 3-on-3 half court basketball tournament. I'd be like seriously gassed.
I'd be pulling Anthony Richardson. Take me out, coach. Brandon, we have no subs. Take me out. I don't care. Let these guys play 2-on-3. I'm done. I can't do it. No way. Although I feel much more fit than I used to be, so maybe my stamina will be a little bit better.
There you go. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I had a midlife crisis like a few years ago and joined like a full court basketball league.
Oh, how'd that go for you?
With guys that were much younger than me. I almost died many times. Yes.
Have you taken up the old man sport of pickleball
yet? Did not go well. I have not. Pickleball's funny. It's like one of those sports I have never played, but I know I will, and I know I'll like it because I played tennis for many years. I still play tennis.
Fun.
It does, and I know I'll play it eventually, but I have never played it, which is funny. Because I love tennis, and I've played like a lot of tennis. Eventually, I will.
Yeah, I look at it and I said, not today. All right, maybe in the future at some point, but I'm not getting in it today. I feel like I could still run around a tennis court and be fine, but yeah, pickleball not for me. Meredith plays pickleball.
She like it?
Yeah, she likes it. Yeah, I feel like it'd be a good time. It's like advanced ping pong, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, how you want it? I mean, it's kind of like, how like I don't know. I've never played it. It seems more like tennis than like. It seems more like a I don't know, old people's tennis. Is that fair?
I think so.
Okay.
And you move around a little bit. I know the one rule: stay out of the kitchen. You can't go into the kitchen in pickleball.
You can't take the heat. Get your bleep out the kitchen.
Exactly.
We're on a mission.
I saw this from earlier today. Cemented in history. This was on X at Rose Bowl game. Cemented in history. The 2025 game plaque is now on display in the Court of Champions at the Rose Bowl. It's got 25 bids, and it has Ohio State 41, Ryan Day, Oregon 21, Dan Lanning right under it, offensive MVP, Jeremiah Smith, Ohio State, defensive MVP, Cody Simon. That's one of the cooler things that I've seen. And I know that Archie has the statue out there, and that when you win 2 Heismans is a thing on your own. I was unaware that they actually did this at the Rose Bowl. Like, their name is literally etched in history on that building out in Pasadena. That's awesome.
That is awesome. And I found this out just now. Just as you're saying this, like, it's live on the air.
Court of Champions.
That is really cool. Seriously. Like, and dare I say, like, 40, was it 41-21?
41-21, yeah.
That doesn't even do it justice, but it still is great. 41-21 against Oregon, number 1 team. It doesn't even do it justice because they were up 34-0 in the second quarter. That is super cool, though, Beamer. I had no idea that was a thing.
Wasn't that neat? I mean, that's
super neat.
Yeah, I mean, your name is literally living on for forever. And I know that their names will live on for forever because they ultimately won a national championship. I was unaware that the Rose Bowl did anything like this, but to have your name etched in history, I guess people talk all the time, like, right? Like, what do you want to do? I want to be an all-time great. I want to be a Hall of Famer. And that's what, we were talking with DeVere last night. We were talking about Marvin Harrison Jr., how he came in here. He's like, no, I don't want to be really good. I want to be a Hall of Famer. Like, okay, well, that means your name lives for forever with a gold jacket. These guys won a national championship this past year. Their name will live forever here in the college football history books and here in Columbus, of course. But to actually have your name live forever in a building with as much history as the Rose Bowl, like, that's got to be one of the cooler things that that exists out there.
No doubt about it. I mean, like, I know it's not the same as what it used to be, but, like, still, of all the bowl games, it's the granddaddy of them all. Right. So, like, you can still say, well, it's not what it used to be. Okay, but is it better than, the Cotton Bowl, the Peach Bowl, like, name it, the Orange Bowl? Yes. I don't want to say anything about the Fiesta Bowl. I have a soft spot for the Fiesta Bowl, so we'll just leave that out of the discussion.
Good pancakes out there, I heard.
Seriously, it's Sun Devil Stadium. I know it's not called that anymore. Like, my favorite stadium in the world, other than Ohio Stadium. But seriously, man, I mean, the Rose Bowl is special. It really is. And for them to have their names etched in stone for the rest of time, that's really cool for Jeremiah Smith, Cody Simon, Coach Day. Very cool.
Not cool for Dan Lanning because his name does appear on that.
Dan Lanning may be like, come on, man.
Yeah, like, don't put my name on it.
Can you mention we beat them in the regular season? No, we can't, actually. No.
Actually, you can do that at your stadium.
Yeah.
You know, you can do that at Autzen, but here at the Rose Bowl, no, we can't. Yeah, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that stinks for Dan Lanning. Like, as good as it is for Ryan and Cody and JJ.
Congrats on getting blown out, Dan Lanning.
Yeah, that stinks.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that until this very second. His name is also etched in history, but on the wrong side, apparently, for him. No wonder that game has given him nightmares throughout the offseason.
Hey, I mean, at least he had that, I don't know if, do we still give him credit for that, like, rule change? Did he actually know what he was doing there in the regular season game against Ohio State, or was that just like, did he, like, backwards into that?
I think he was, I will go to the grave, think that he was practicing in the dark arts.
Yeah.
I think that he knew exactly what he was doing, and there was a loophole in there.
Yeah.
Because he answered
that's
it
what I thought.
at the end of the game. Like, he was asked that question, and he just kind of looked at the reporter and had this like wry smile about him. And I'm like, all right,
we practice a lot of situations.
Yeah, you were engaging in the dark arts there.
Yeah.
You knew exactly what.
And I have no problem with that. Actually, he wasn't cheating.
I don't know. I mean, it's usurping the rules.
How about have a?
It's taking advantage of the rule book 100%.
Yeah, that is true. It's not cheating. It is. It's a loophole. They've now closed that. The Dan Lanning rule is in effect.
They closed it 2 days after. It didn't take them very long.
That's right. They didn't even wait till after the season. I forgot about that.
It was a mid-season rule.
That's
wasn't
hilarious.
It was like that week that they changed the 12 men
oh God, we screwed up.
If you could have your name etched on any building, what would it be?
On any building?
Yeah, on any building.
On any building.
I mean, these guys have theirs at the Rose Bowl. Like, that's a pretty iconic venue. Don't say the Dean Dome rhyme time. I know exactly. You don't even have to. I'm looking at you over there, and you're getting a smile, and he's laughing because he was going to say the Dean Dome 100%. Think of something else. Think of something non-Carolina basketball related. I think mine, when you go to, like, a golf course, and they have, like, a Payne Stewart hold out from here in like the 1996 like U.S. Open from 212 yards out or whatever it is. I think I would like for mine to be at Muirfield Village on like the 12th hole, like the 12th tee box out at Muirfield on the beautiful par 3 over the water. Like, at some point in my life, I aced it, and then I like just died immediately after. All right, I just like boom, that was it, and I get memorialized somehow. I think there would be no better fit for me than out at that golf course on the 12th hole, overlooking that. I think that would be great for me.
Man, I've never thought about this question before. Like, I want to say, like, Ohio Stadium, but it wouldn't feel right because, like, why would my name be on freaking Ohio Stadium?
You've been on the beat for forever. That's why.
That wouldn't be right, though. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. That's a great question.
Rhyme time? Other than the Dean Dome, what are you doing? What are you saying?
It would be that.
Well, I know it would be that.
How about Cameron Indoor just to troll them?
Yeah.
No, just to troll them.
Okay.
Like a curse.
Yeah,
I like that idea.
This is my house.
I like that idea.
The rhyme or curse.
I'll go Michigan Stadium. He's going Cameron Indoor.
I'll mess with Timmy and do Allen Fieldhouse.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, the curse of
Rock
Rhymer.
chalk.
Yeah, every time that Tim thinks he's going to win a national championship, nope. The curse of Rhymer. He comes up and he steers that clear. Yeah, I think for me it would have to be a golf course somewhere.
That'd be Centerville High School football stadium.
Yeah, that would be good too. Maybe on the bell tower after they win a game, is like students go up and they climb the bell tower that's like 20 feet up in the air. That would be a good place too.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Beaver Creek doesn't have like traditions like that because they don't win football games.
I mean, they're getting better, aren't they?
I mean, there's nowhere to go but up, my man. When you're 0-10 most years, there's nowhere to go but up.
Do you think Tyrese Halliburton would say Madison Square Garden from what the antics that he pulled last night?
That was hilarious.
Him and Reggie.
Listen, I'm no dog in the fight. I grew up a Bulls fan. And by the way, I'm loving the 90s. And before even that, I was like, this is really cool. It's a Knicks. And for him to pull that out. And by the way, imagine if they would have lost in overtime after he does it. But they didn't.
You can't lose that game if he does
my gosh,
that.
for him to do that and Reggie Miller being right there, man, you could not have drawn the script up any better than that. And
this was just game one.
And we've seen the stats, right? So like it was like playoff teams that led by 14, like with 2:30 left in the fourth quarter were like 944-0. Yeah. Now they're 944-1, something like that. I'm like, that's a rough estimate.
It had to happen to the Knicks, though.
Oh my gosh! And to the Pacers, no less.
Yeah.
Against the Pacers.
I mean, that game was in the bag. They had it done.
It's too funny. And then for Reggie to be there and for like Halliburton to do that, I mean, just
after he got called
is the best, man.
Biggest overrated player in the NBA by NBA players.
He's on the generational run.
That's right. The Athletic did that story. Last year it was Rudy Gobert was the most overrated.
Also started COVID.
It was
Gobert.
yes he did.
Yep.
Yes yeah. Forget about Wuhan and anything there. It was definitely Rudy Gobert.
100%.
But seriously, I mean, like Halliburton was named the most overrated player by his peers by The Athletic in their anonymous poll. How you looking now?
Yeah.
As we know, though, that's players just saying, I don't like this dude.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah. He's the most unlikable character in the league. That's what that is.
Pacers fans love him.
Can I interest you in a Michael Jenkins plaque over at Ross-Ade Stadium in Purdue? What about that one?
Holy Buckeye, baby.
I mean, one of the most iconic plays that we'll see. Or a Jack Sawyer stamp down in Jerry World.
That'd be great. We used to have the Holy Buckeye picture right here.
The Michael Jenkins picture?
Yeah, the Holy Buckeye. It used to be right here. I don't know. I used to joke with Scotty, like, whenever all this got, like, I should have just taken that and put it in my man cave. No one would have noticed.
No, I don't think anybody would have noticed.
It's a great picture of Michael Jenkins, the Holy Buckeye, catching that ball against Purdue.
I think when they hollowed out the Crew studio, I may or may not have taken some like MLS game balls from that studio when they were taking that out of there.
Attaboy.
Don't come look after them. They're not at my house. How do Buckeye fans around the state feel about the State of the Union surrounding Ohio State football? We'll get into that next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
Make your summer celebrations a good deal better with sizzling deals from Meijer. Fresh from Meijer 80% lean ground beef family packs for just $3.49 per pound, limit 5. Or chicken drumsticks family packs for only 99 cents per pound. And mini seedless watermelon or buy one, get one for $1. Plus, enjoy hot deals all summer long on Meijer brand must-haves, like Meijer chips for $1.99 and Meijer hamburger and hot dog buns for $1.39. Summertime is always a good deal better at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. A lot of dealerships not stocking much inventory right now because of reasons. But at Jermaine Lexus, they have new inventory arriving every day. Get what you want when you want it. Lease the all-new NX350 for as low as $389 per month. How about rates as low as 3.99% up to 48 months and 4.49% up to 60 months on their most popular models. Jermaine Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton. Check them out online, jermainelexus.com.
We've got a story about a little bean doing big things. Soybeans are used in creative ways you may have never realized to make products we use every day. And Ohio's farmers are growing some of the world's best soybeans. By using and eating soy-based products, you make a positive impact locally and globally. Say hey to the largest ag export in the U.S. Learn more about soybeans at soysecrets.org. This ad brought to you by Ohio soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Attention Columbus. Town Properties just clinched the title of the largest residential property manager in Columbus, thanks to the Columbus Business Journal. With pride, we oversee 25,000 plus households in the Columbus metro area, ensuring fantastic places to call home. Whether you're on the hunt for an exceptional living space, a top-notch association management company, or a property manager for your multifamily portfolio, visit our website at town.properties.com and let us elevate your living experience. Town Properties, always managing great places to live.
At Kroger, an annual Boost membership is better than ever. Save up to $1,100 each year on gas, groceries, delivery fees, and streaming options. With double fuel points, unlimited free delivery, and exclusive savings for members, there's so much to love about Boost. Sign up for a Boost membership today. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance is prepared for what's next and protects what matters most to you. With independent insurance agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova Insurance is an easy win for your peace of mind. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you.
When you're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis, all the F words apply. Football, food, and fun, and fat, and furry. They both have beards. And they dress up like animals and hump things. T-Bone and Tyvis.
Weekday mornings at 6.
The Fan.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off of closing costs. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 6.625%, APR 6.685% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3RD-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Ryan Day's favorite radio show. Probably. Maybe. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Got Dave Biddle hanging out tonight. He's reading this article. I always like the fan surveys that The Athletic does, Bids. I always think that that's pretty good. Cameron Teague Robinson of The Athletic wrote this. And whenever I say Cameron Teague Robinson's name, I just hear Jerry Emick in my head from listening to Ryan Day press conferences all the time. Cameron Teague Robinson, The Athletic. I just hear that in that voice. I've listened to a lot of Ohio State press conferences over the years, doing post-game show here. Anytime Jerry calls on someone, Dave Biddle, Bucknuts. You know, I got his voice in my head whenever I hear an Ohio State beat writer. So he asked a few questions here, and I thought this was pretty good. So now that Ohio State has won a national championship, have Buckeye fans turned their focus into simply beating Michigan for this year? It's important every season, of course, but with a fourth consecutive rivalry loss coinciding with that title run, it seems like it somehow could be an even more important game in 2025. So he asked a bunch of questions in this, and it was a fan survey. And I'm trying to find the number of people that voted on this. I'm not sure if I can find it in a hurry for you, but
just over 1,000.
Okay, just over 1,000.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good sample size.
Yeah, a lot of people reading Cam's stories. Attaboy, Cam.
Yeah.
Cam's a good guy.
That's a good sample size for sure. So Jack Sawyer recently said winning a national championship is more important than winning the game against Michigan. Do you agree? Now, the way that we're going to play this game is we're going to answer it, then I will tell you the voting percentages. Jack Sawyer said winning a national championship is more important than winning the game against Michigan. Do you agree? Yes or no?
Yes, winning for example, to me it boils down to this. Let's say I told you right now as a Buckeye fan, okay, Ohio State beat Michigan this year, and then they lost wherever in the playoffs. First round, let's say that it was first round or whatever it would have been. Would you take that, or would you take they lost to Michigan, which obviously sucked, and then they won the national championship? Which one would you take? I would take the national championship 100 times out of 100. So, yes, I completely agree with Jack Sawyer.
Let me ask you this question, because I was asking Austin and Adam King this earlier in the week or maybe last week. Would Ryan Day be under the same amount of pressure if he beat Michigan and lost in the first round of the playoffs? Would we have this kind of off season where it's a little more relaxed coming out of him, or would there still be the ultimate pressure on Ryan Day?
I think it'd be similar if he beat Michigan. Oh, but he lost in the first round?
Lost in the first round, straight out of the
geez. I mean, to me, that's worse than what happened. But, like, here in Columbus, that might be like, I don't know, equal, for lack of a better word. Like,
Do you think he would have received his contract extension if that were to happen?
No.
Okay.
No.
I think that answers the question.
National championship.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. It's like, we have to, like, and it's hard for me because I'm like I love college football. I love the history of college football. We have to, like, realize we're in a new era now. It's a lot more like college basketball. Mm-hmm. North Carolina, Duke, for example. You could be North Carolina. You could get swept by Duke in the regular season. You could lose to Duke in the ACC championship game. If North Carolina then wins the national championship, What would you rather be, national champions and 0-3 against Duke, or 3-0 against Duke and not win the national championship? You'd rather be national champions. That college football is like that now, and it's weird. You used to not even be able to have a chance to win the national championship without beating Michigan, or if you're Michigan, you would have a chance without beating Ohio State. It's not that way anymore. And I've heard a lot of Michigan fans try and say, well, Ohio State's national championship is tainted because they didn't beat Michigan. It's like, it's a new era, my friends. Yeah. It's a new era. If we want to talk about tainted championships, we can talk about that. Ohio State's is not what we're going to talk about,
What do you mean? What are you inferring?
Well, I'm inferring there's going to be a lot of popcorn eaten on June 6th and 7th for a certain trial and hearing, we'll call it, in Indy.
So to give you an example of the over 1,000 responses to this article that Cameron Teague Robinson of The Athletic put out, 89.3 to 10.7% would favor a national championship over Michigan. Okay? It's the ultimate prize that you're fighting for. What's your level of confidence that Ohio State can end the 4-game losing streak to Michigan this year? Very confident, somewhat confident, toss up, somewhat skeptical, or very skeptical?
Yeah, I would I would be in the I'm very confident.
Yeah, you're very confident.
Yeah,
I would say somewhat confident for me, just given the last 4 years. 45% saying somewhat confident, 32%, nearly 33% saying very confident. So those are your two biggest ones right there. Does winning a national championship last season change your expectations for 2025, and how so? How would you grade Ryan Day's performance in 6 years as Ohio State's head coach? A, B, C, D, or F?
Jeez, it's tough. It seems like it's between an A and a B to me. I'd go, if I had to pick between A and B, I'll go A. He's won a national championship. Yeah. He's created a great culture. I think for a while people are like, oh, he's got this great culture, but is it like a country club? Yeah. Go over there and do one of those workouts with Mick and tell me how much of a country club. But now he's got a national championship under his belt to validate everything he's done. So, I would probably go A- if I could, but since that's not on the table, I would go A.
Yes, I would go A too. He won a national championship. You're one of 3 guys in college football with one of those that are active coaches.
And he's 70-10 overall.
Yeah, it's the 3rd highest all time ever, in college football.
He's a great guy.
He's a great guy. Yeah. He has a great cause. We listened to an interview with him with Adam King about Mental Health Awareness Month, and it was very good. A, overwhelming majority, 63%, 35% for B, 1.7% C, 0.4% for D, and 0% for F in his 10-year year. And how would you grade it? What would constitute a successful season for Ohio State this coming year? Win the national championship, Big Ten championship with a national title game appearance, Big Ten championship college football playoff appearance, win a game in the playoffs, playoff appearance, or beat Michigan.
I don't know if Cam had this as one of the choices, but maybe he did kind of. My definition of a successful season this year is beat Michigan, make the playoffs. And then whatever on top of that is gravy. You want, obviously, the ultimate goal never changes in Columbus, Ohio.
Correct.
What makes this a successful season? I would say you have to beat Michigan and you have to make the college football playoff. You do those two things, it's a success in my book, and then see where the chips fall from there.
I think that's a good answer. If beating Michigan comes in terms with a Big Ten championship, then I think everybody would be on board. Then if you get to a Big Ten championship, likely you're going to be playing in the playoffs. So, yeah, I would say as well with you, Bids, beating Michigan, getting into a Big Ten championship game, and then into the playoffs. Those are the expectations. And then, as you were mentioning, it's kind of a college basketball version of college football right now. Once you get into the playoffs, anything can happen. So then you would go from there. Who would you prefer to win the starting quarterback job, Julian Sand or Lincoln Kienholz?
We're just ruling out. We're just not ruling out the guy that's transferring from Houston Christian.
You mean Hungary?
Who was the
Gior Sharks?
Yes, we're just not going to even
Eli
give
the
him,
brick handler,
and Tavian St. Clair's not going to start as a true freshman. No, I mean I think Julian Sand is. It's to me, it's just. It's not a sure thing, but it's pretty damn close. If you look at the Vegas odds to win the Heisman, you have J.J. Smith 4th. You have Julian Sand 5th. Yeah, has the 5th best odds to win the Heisman.
What is he 20-1?
I think it's even better than that.
Is it 18-1?
Yeah, I don't think it's tremendously better than that. It's I'm splitting hairs, something like that. Yeah, because JJ's down to 12-1, man. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? A wide receiver.
It's not that crazy.
It's just because oh man, because it is
in order for him to win the Heisman, you need a good quarterback.
Yeah, but and then James Peoples is going to get his, Cornell Tate's going to get his, Brandon Ennis. It's obviously. I think Jeremiah Smith is the best player in college football, but man, it's going to be so tough for him to win the Heisman. I realized Dante Smith won it like not too long ago for Bama in 2020, so it's possible. But it's awesome that you have a sophomore wide receiver who has the 4th best odds to win the Heisman, the best odds of any non-quarterback. So it goes Arch Manning, is it Klubnik, it's Nussmeier,
and then
JJ, and then Julian Sand. Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
So go ahead, I'm sorry.
There will be 93% in favor.
93%.
Yeah.
So you have what? So 7% went Keenholz?
Yeah.
There you go. Listen, I mean, what do you guys think about like Keenholz? Like, I think like if he had to go in there, I wouldn't have a lot of trepidation. I think a lot of people might think, oh, is this the kid that was in there against Missouri?
I think he's a very different quarterback.
Yes.
And I think that, listen, I know that when Ryan Day speaks, some people don't listen to him. When he says it's a real quarterback competition, it is. It is. I used to do a show here in the mornings with a guy who would go over to the Woody every day, and he would tell me that, like, they got a nice competition going on. I'm like, whatever you're saying, I'm listening to it. So, yes, but 93% saying Julian Sand. And then the last one here, will Jeremiah Smith be a Heisman finalist? Yes or no?
Geez, I'll say yes.
Along with 82% of the voters.
Jeez, yeah, these are Ohio State fans voting. Yeah. I think it's probably more 50-50. I think finalist is reasonable. I'll be surprised if he wins it. And especially hype is huge with the Heisman. Obviously, it's stats, but going into the season with as much hype as he has, as long as he stays healthy and has a big year, which if he stays healthy, he'll have a big year. Yeah, I think he'll be a finalist.
I love going cross-eyed. I don't know about you, but I love this, going cross-eyed on advanced football analytics. We'll do that and the College Football Pulse next. That's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
The radio couldn't contain us, so we've taken over YouTube. Catch Morning Juice weekday mornings at 6 by searching 971 The Fan. Do it. Get an ECO.
Aaron, I love that we fix ACs for free.
I don't think we do that, Jerry.
Get an ECO.
Stay with me, Aaron. I'm going to explain to you how it works.
You're going to explain to me how my own invention works?
Get an ECO.
Step 1. Some other HVAC company tells a customer that they need a whole new system.
Yes.
And then they call us.
They can always call us, Jerry.
Get an ECO.
And then we repair their system for free.
No, then they pay us.
But we give the money back, right?
We give them back all the money they paid us to fix their old system when they finally do need a new one.
Up to $1,500, right?
Right.
Aaron, we're fixing HVAC systems for free.
Get an ECO.
We extend the life of their system.
That's right.
Those extra years are free. On me.
Get an ECO.
ECO. Plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians. GetEco.com.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Health insurance companies are expected to carry health benefits, but CareSource does so much more. We look beyond doctors' offices and hospitals to see the challenges that face our members. Then we help them achieve not just better health, but better lives. Along with great benefits, we also help our members find stable jobs, housing, childcare, and rides so they can find greater independence. At CareSource, we're removing barriers. We're improving lives. We're reimagining healthcare.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hey, Ohio State fan, are you ready for game day? Get hyped and get your crew going with the Buckeye Meal at BK. For $20, you'll get one juicy flame grill Whopper sandwich, one original chicken sandwich, 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers, 3 crispy golden small fries, and 3 refreshing small drinks. Grab your $20 Buckeye Meal today and share the taste of victory. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. Tax extra. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good evening. I'm Jacob Reimer. In baseball tonight, the Guardians are up in Detroit beginning a 4-game weekend series with the first-place Tigers. Tanner Bybee is on the mound for Cleveland. They are currently underway and still scoreless in the second inning. The Reds are off tonight getting ready for a weekend home series with the Chicago Cubs beginning tomorrow. The College Football Playoff Management Committee reached a unanimous agreement earlier today to move the College Football Playoff to a straight seeding model this fall, rewarding the selection committee's top 4 teams with the top 4 seeds and a first-round bye. The 5 highest-ranked conference champions will still be guaranteed spots in the 12-team field. In the NBA playoffs tonight, Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals, Minnesota looks to even things up with the Thunder. Tip-off from Oklahoma City is at 8:30, and got some commitments to the Memorial Tournament today from former champion Victor Hovland, Ludwig Oberg, Ricky Fowler, and Jordan Spieth. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan.
Time for the College Football Pulse on the Buckeye Show.
Hour number 2 for us here on a Thursday. Got Dave Biddle hanging out tonight. Rhyme time, how you living over there? You doing all right?
Yeah, we're doing fantastic.
Other than Duke getting a big-time basketball commit today, which sent you into a tizzy?
Yeah, that wasn't fun.
By the way, what were you eating today that you were like, my tongue is going to fall out of my head? What were you chomping on? What were you doing?
I had some steak fajita bites with some peppers, and this afternoon I made some like potato slices with cheese on it.
Okay,
steak fajita bites,
yeah.
Nice. From you made those, or
yeah? Well, my wife
Very
did.
Nice.
My wife did one night. Yeah.
What kind of peppers were there? Just like jalapenos?
Red and green peppers.
Okay, not like bell peppers. Obviously, they had to have some sort of heat on them.
Yeah,
or were they bell peppers?
They might have been. I think they were.
If your tongue is going to fall out of your head after eating bell peppers, you've got some things to work on.
I don't know. Something was going on to where like that combination with the potatoes was just really spicy to me.
She put some spice in there.
Yeah,
it had to be more than just.
So then I got some apples
peppers
that I ate here during the first couple segments to help.
How's it feeling now? You feeling back to normal?
Oh yeah, we're doing good.
Okay, good. What do you got for us tonight?
So we've got some rankings for some winners after the spring portal window closing.
Rankings. Stuart
Mandel of The Athletic put these rankings out there. He's got Texas at 1. He flipped them with Penn State at 1 and 2. Clemson is up from 5 to 3 after adding no one in the spring. The Buckeyes are 4th, previously ranked 6th, and Notre Dame rounds out the top 5. Other Big Ten rankings: Oregon at 8, Illinois 16th, Indiana 18th, and the team up north is at 20.
I'm kind of surprised that Indiana is that high, honestly. I mean, I think it was a once-in-a-lifetime year for Kurt Cignetti, and he won't tell you that. But it was pretty impressive. So I'm kind of impressed that Indiana is that high, considering everything that has gone on this offseason. You lose Curtis Rourke, and you're going to have to replace a quarterback. I am not surprised that Texas and Penn State are holding number 1 and number 2. And it kind of looks at what publication you look at, Bids. Like, those among the masses are the 2 favorites in college football, at least post-spring, and what Penn State did in the transfer portal, and obviously what Texas did in the transfer portal and the hype surrounding Arch Manning. And again, I mean, we're going to see them game number 1 here in 100 days, which is going to be awesome theater to watch. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm being cynical or if it's just years in past. I can't get behind James Franklin. It's just, I can't, until he passes the litmus test and beats Ohio State, I cannot do it. I cannot, anoint Penn State as the next great team in college football. I just can't get there mentally.
Yeah, and he's 1-10 against Ohio State, and he has to come to Columbus this year. I know there's been a lot of close calls, but his one win was kind of a fluky win.
It was rushing out a field goal.
Yes,
right, and then getting it blocked and returning it for a pick six in the whiteout.
Yeah, and I know Ohio State's had some tough games, including this past year. But
they're always great games against them.
Yeah, but him coming to Columbus this year, that's going to be tough. And a lot of people, you're right. People are going to have, I think, in the human polls, Beamer, I think it's going to be Texas, Penn State, Texas. If you look at the betting odds, it's Ohio State, Texas tied as the best odds. But Penn State's going to be right there. It kind of, and I like what they've done with their coordinators. Obviously, we know Jim Knowles is good. I know Ohio State fans are not very pleased with Jim Knowles, but I will just say this: he he accomplished what he was brought to Columbus to do.
It also took him 3 years to do that.
Do we like the way he led? True. Do we like the way that he left? No. And I have some problems with some of the things he said. Like, why are you negotiating a new contract like the week of the national championship game?
It wasn't even the week of the national championship game. That game ended at midnight-ish, 11:30. Okay, you spent the whole next day celebrating getting back to Columbus. It was 5 a.m. on the Wednesday after they had won it that he's calling James Franklin.
That's the thing.
5 o'clock in the morning that Wednesday.
What's interesting is James Franklin was looking for a D coordinator, and if you believe all of the story that like there was no tampering and everything, so James Franklin was looking for a D coordinator. There was all this talk that Knowles was looking around, and Franklin never contacted Jim Knowles. That's interesting. Listen, I think Knowles, did what he was brought here to do, but
of course he did.
But I think the offensive coordinator for Penn State's good. Very good. Look at what happened with Kansas after he left. Kansas had a really good offense when he was there. He left. They went to the tank. We'll see. Drew Aller, man. I don't know. It kind of depends on what you feel.
Him?
Yeah, Kolonicki. He was at Kansas. He had been with Kansas as coach since they were back at Wisconsin Whitewater. He was there
for the life
Buffalo.
of me, couldn't understand what he was trying to do against Ohio State, though, in that game against Penn State or against Ohio State. I'm looking at it. I'm like, dude, you got receivers on this team. They exist. I don't know if it was a great defensive game plan from Ohio State. They just clamped him up. I'm not sure, but didn't Drew Aller not throw a single pass to a wide receiver?
Or
he may have attempted.
They did have pretty bad wide receivers, but.
And that's something that they've addressed in the portal.
Yeah, they got that kid from Syracuse is legit. I was Kyle McCord's guy at Syracuse, and they paid a lot of money for him. Syracuse's coach, who I really like, was just put it out there. I really like him. He's a rising star, I think. And he was like, yeah, this kid won $2 million. So I think we know what he's getting at Penn State. Probably around $2 million.
He literally said in that interview, he goes, $2 million for a wide receiver? No, that's not me. He goes, that's homie at Ohio State. He was talking about Jeremiah Smith.
That's funny when he said that. That's homie at Ohio State, $2 million. Yeah, you might want to double that, then add another $1 million, and then you're in the ballpark, Fran.
For sure. What Stuart Mandel writes about Ohio State in their post-spring rankings, again, up from number 6, up to number 4. He goes, my first 2025 top 25 was published the morning after the Buckeyes national championship win, at which point it was hard to overlook how many key players they were losing. As it turned out, 14 draft picks. But Coach Ryan Day still has a lot of veterans, and now he's added Bo Atkinson, came in from North Carolina, who could start opposite of returnee Kenyatta Jackson. You also got Caden Curry in that mix as well. But it all comes down how expected quarterback 1 Julian Sand performs. I think he nailed what has been a fun and intriguing offseason down to literally a 1-paragraph blog.
Yeah, I think, obviously quarterback is the number one thing. I think if Ohio State gets good play, let's say it's Julian Sand, as I think it will be, if he's good, Beamer,
good.
I think they're going to be, he doesn't have to be great. If he's good, if we look back and say Julian Sand was good as a redshirt freshman, Ohio State's going to be a big problem this year. And then the other thing, and if he's great, look out. But he can't just be average. That's not good. And another thing, Beamer, is I'm convinced he will be a good starting quarterback at Ohio State at some point. When will that be? Will it be his first game against Texas? That's a lot to ask.
Some people just aren't scared of the lights, man.
But I do think he's going to have a good year. And then of course the other question then is D tackle for Coach Day to be basically coming out. He didn't say this verbatim, but we need to try and land a D tackle in the portal. And they weren't able to do that. But I give him credit for not just reaching for somebody just to reach. He said, we're looking for somebody, but we're not going to add somebody just to add somebody. So, but depth at D tackle to me is a concern. That being said, I like their starters at D tackle, Beamer, with
I do too.
Caden McDonald and Edric Houston, and I think Will Smith Jr. might come along as that top backup. So they just need to build some depth there, but it might be mitigated by Matt Patricia, I think he's going to use more odd fronts. Especially with, I think they like their depth at defensive end, especially getting Bo Atkinson in, getting Logan George and some of the guys they have. C.J. Hicks moving down there. You got Caden Curry, you got Kenyatta Jackson. Zion Grady as a freshman might be able to play right away. So they like their depth at defensive end. They've got some linebackers they like. I think we might see some more odd fronts out of the defensive line this year. It's easy to see why they didn't want to do that last year. You had 4 defensive linemen that were NFL draft picks, so you're not going to do a lot of odd fronts. I know Larry doesn't like to do a lot of odd fronts, Larry Johnson, but I do think Matt Patricia is going to do more odd fronts. He did it a lot in New England, did it a lot in Detroit, and I think the personnel just matches up with that. And Coach Patricia talks a lot about how he's going to, use the strength of his defense with his personnel, use the strength of his personnel to, determine how he's going to use his scheme.
It also helps when you have Caleb Downs in the back end to protect everything.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Rhyme time.
Best player.
What else you got for us?
Got another ranking for you.
Oh, I love rankings.
Bill Connolly of ESPN put out a ranking. His slightly different, though. It's a post-spring SP Plus ranking.
You big SP Plus guy, Bids?
SP Plus. I'm not sure if I know what that is.
SP Plus, don't worry, I'll tell you here. SP Plus is 1, returning production, 2, recent recruiting, and recent history. One other reminder that SP Plus is tempo and opponent adjusted measure of college football efficiency. It is a predictive measure of the most sustainable and predictable aspects of football, not a resume ranking. And along those lines, these projections aren't intended to be a guess at what the AP Top 25 will look like at the end of the season. These are simply early offseason power rankings based on information we have been able to gather. This is straight up analytic nerd zone. That's what this is. I mean, we nerd out about it's like analytics all the time.
Sounds like Ken Pom.
Yeah, it kind of is. It's kind of the football version of Ken Pom.
Yeah. Well, but he's got Ohio State at 1, Alabama at 2, Penn State 3, Georgia 4th, and Texas 5. The one team here at the top of the rankings that might surprise you, Michigan at 10.
These are analytics based, okay? This takes the humanalytics that Rothman likes to talk about so much out of that. It pulls the human element out of that context. It has Ohio State just on his rankings, and again, all analytics. It has Ohio State as the 7th best offense in predicted offense in college football, the 2nd best defense in college football, the 11th best special teams unit in college football. They run a simulation like 1,000 times, and the average number of wins that they have come up with for Ohio State in this simulation is 10.3 wins on average. So hovering around the 10.5 that it is set for the over-under.
Yeah, and that over-under is interesting, Beamer, because it's a tough schedule. They have a tough schedule. There's no doubt about it. You know, leading off with Texas, finishing the season at Michigan, Penn State mixed in, and then some tricky games, man. I mean, like at Illinois, a team that's going to be really good. I mean, don't you think? I mean, Illinois was good last year.
They were good.
They're bringing a ton of guys back. They're one of the few teams that have not only a veteran quarterback coming back, but a good veteran quarterback coming back in Drew Altmaier. And dare I say, Bielema has turned into be a pretty likable dude. Look what he did last year with Shane Beamer. Was getting all crying on the field and everything,
and the arms out.
That was great.
It was one of the best non-heralded moments of the college football season.
Thank you, sir. I never thought I'd be giving Burt props for being a likable guy, but not only has he turned Illinois around, and I always thought they had potential. But he's kind of likable. I'm not going to like him when the Buckeyes are playing there in that wind tunnel, but that's going to be a tough game. They have to go at Washington. Washington has a really good quarterback. At least I think he's really good. At Wisconsin, which obviously Luke Fickell's not doing a good job there, but that's never an easy play. You never know, man. I mean, this is an interesting schedule for Ohio State this year.
Yeah, it is. On the Illinois front, you better bring home that stinking turtle, okay? You better bring home the Yellow Buck. That's one of the great trophies in college football, and it's a shame that we don't get to play for it every year. I love that turtle. It randomly appeared at our old college house one night and then just vanished. It's just gone.
Oh, I think because maybe you had a friend that maybe was on the team.
Yeah, that is probably true.
Yeah.
But I don't know how it got there. I don't know how it left.
I think I know how it got there.
And that is the way that the Yellow Buck should live. It just should live on college in houses for on a week-to-week basis. Hey, all right, I asked you this at the beginning of the show. And if you didn't catch the beginning of the show, that's on you. You can always go back on YouTube or listen to the podcast and do that. But if you had to pick one Buckeye to send out to battle for the top 20 players, top 25 players so far since the turn of millennia in college football, who would it be? That's next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Bands are us when dreams sunk in. Bands are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
Bands are us when dreams sunk in. Bands are us.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
AgPro has been family-owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, community banking is the lifeblood of the American financial system, building strong, lasting relationships. We're just better able to help guide you down life's road. Flexibility is paramount to success. Community banking is alive and well in the Heartland. I'm Scott McComb. Come on over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance is prepared for what's next and protects what matters most to you. With independent insurance agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova Insurance is an easy win for your peace of mind. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you.
Hey, Ohio State fan, are you ready for game day? Get hyped and get your crew going with the Buckeye Meal at BK. For $20, you'll get one juicy flame grilled Whopper sandwich, one original chicken sandwich, 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers, 3 crispy golden small fries, and 3 refreshing small drinks. Grab your $20 Buckeye Meal today and share the taste of victory. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. Tax extra. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith, Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Cloudy, breezy, and cool on this Thursday, and a few light showers possible as well. Temperatures stuck in the mid to upper 50s, down to the low 40s overnight with a little bit of clearing by morning, but the clouds quickly come back on Friday afternoon, as does the risk of a shower. Temperatures running around 60 later in the day. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
4 out of 5 dentists recommend this show. The other dentist is a Michigan fan. Yuck! You're listening to the Buckeye Show.
Did you just say it's going to be 42 degrees tonight? Is that a real? Is that a real thing?
I was looking at that. It's
42
it's
degrees.
42.
Is this November?
And before long, I'm sure it's just going to be like sweltering hot for like 3 straight months. So
I mean,
maybe we should just enjoy this.
I'm not complaining about it. All right.
Are we going to get quarter zips and stuff at Muirfield?
I'm telling you, man. I was looking at the weather today. Next week for the Memorial Tournament, like it looks awesome. I mean, we said at the beginning of the show, just lock it in. You know, it's guaranteed that the forecast is going to be correct. Yeah, it says 44 degrees tonight in Columbus. But listen to this. Next Thursday, round number 1, Memorial Tournament. By the way, we're 1 week away from that starting, the unofficial start of summer. 72 degrees is the high, partly cloudy. Friday, I've said this on these airwaves before, and I will not shy away from this opinion. It is the best day that Columbus Sports has to offer. It's Friday at the Memorial Tournament. It's the best. All right? Love it out there. High is 72. 56 degrees, partly cloudy. So back-to-back beautiful days on Thursday and Friday.
Wait. Why is it the best?
Because it's just the best.
But I know
for me personally, it's the best.
I want to know why.
I worked out there. I got a lot of people that I get to see out there that, I don't get to go out to Muirfield whenever I'd like to. So the Memorial Tournament, everybody who still works over there, I get to go say hi to them. It's awesome. I get to see some old friends, share some stories, pop back a few beverages, go from place to place.
None of the players have been cut yet?
None of the players.
Is that a reason? Because everybody's still there? Or is that...
everybody's still there. And so, you get the early wave that goes off. And then, they always put a great threesome together in the afternoon for the afternoon wave. So what is that, 2 o'clock the afternoon wave usually goes out? And the scene around the first tee on the Friday of the Memorial Tournament with the late, star-studded group, there's nothing like it in sports. It's at a fever pitch. And you have to, at that point in time, either commit to being there all day or pull ripcord. You either go for the afternoon and stay in the afternoon, go in the morning, leave at the time that those guys are teeing off a number one around 2 o'clock, or just commit full on to the entire day.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Sounds like a blast. I've only been out there for Sunday last year. My one and only time.
Get the handshake on Sunday.
There you go.
It's a great tradition in sports. But yeah, we're looking at, mid-70s for the entire Memorial Tournament.
Let's go.
Week.
That's perfect.
Yeah. And like you said earlier, just book that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be a guarantee.
Extended
thing.
forecasts.
But
they're always etched in stone.
We'll deal with a 42 low tonight if you get 70s next week for the unofficial start of summer. All right. I was reading this from Bruce Feldman of The Athletic. He reached out to around 36 coaches, TV analysts, and NFL scouts. Let's say top 25 players in the entirety of college football since the year 2000. Now, before we get to the list, I want to ask you, Rhyme Time, you Bids, I'll answer it myself. If you could send out one Buckeye, because there's one Ohio State player on this list since the year 2000 that are represented for Ohio State in this list, who would be your Buckeye that you are picking to represent Ohio State as the best college football player since that year? Do you have one that comes to your mind immediately?
Jeez, I hate to say it because, I don't hate to say it. I'm going to say it. I kind of love to say it, but I have pause saying it, but I'm going to say J.J. Smith, okay. Jeremiah Smith, because, listen, we're already saying things like he's going to be the best receiver to come through here, which is insane when you're talking about Chris Carter and many others.
We just forgot that Marv was here.
We were just saying the same thing about Marvin. Right, exactly.
Crazy.
We were saying the exact same thing about Marvin. Is he the best to come through here? Is he better than Chris Carter? Is he better than this guy?
I'd say yes.
But I think Jeremiah Smith is going to be the best receiver to come through here. And I don't say that lightly. That's an extremely high bar. There's a lot of guys we could point to, but I would go with Jeremiah Smith.
Okay, so you're saying JJ. Rhyme Time, this is right in your wheelhouse. This is ever since you've been a kid to where you're at now. Who are you throwing out as your one Buckeye to represent the best player to come out of Ohio State since 2000 to now? It's a tough question, man. There's been a lot of guys to come through here.
I think I'm looking at this as guys that I wanted to see win a national championship.
Okay.
I loved Justin Fields.
Justin Fields.
Yeah.
That's going to be your guy?
He could do both. Throw it. He could sling it. He can run it. Was tough to bring down.
That season that he had in 2019, was spectacular.
It really was. Yeah. I thought about C.J. Stroud as well. That's a good one. Having two first-round quarterbacks back-to-back. You had Dwayne Haskins before that as well.
Yeah.
Not too shabby.
And even Dwayne's here. He went for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns.
Not bad.
He
had a lot of interceptions, though. Oh, yeah, they have 8 or something.
Yeah.
His stats, you're right. It was 5,000 yards.
And 50 touchdowns.
50 touchdowns exactly. 9 interceptions. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. Imagine if Ohio State had a defense that year, too. Instead of forcing overtime, was it overtime or double overtime against Maryland in College Park?
That's right.
That was even
the Rose Bowl, they got up 28-3 and had to hold on against the fighting Jake Brownings in Washington.
That's right. Oh, man. I forgot about that one. That was for Urban to go 83-9. In his last game.
Right.
That was to avoid the double-digit losses for his career at Ohio State, right?
Yeah,
because that was the send-off. That was the transition year. Urban was retiring, and then Ryan was coming in, and we knew that Ryan was coming in.
Gave him the whistle in the locker room, the passing of the torch, the passing of the whistle, which was a pretty cool thing. And, I just dug up an interview. I forgot about this. Me and a few other people interviewed Ryan Day right there in the locker room. after that Rose Bowl, the 2018 season, right after he officially became the head coach at Ohio State. So he's aged a little bit since then, but not as bad as some of the other previous head coaches. If you look at John Cooper when he was hired in 1980,
it's as bad as the presidency.
It is. That's what I always compare it to. If you look at John Cooper's introductory press conference in 88, don't even look at Cooper then 10 years later. Look at him 4 years later in 92. I'm telling you, it looks like he's aged 20 years.
It got
Look at
Urban
Tressel.
good.
Tressel in 2001, pull it up. He looks like a young man. 2001 Jim Tressel, he's a spry young man. Even Urban 2012 still looks like young
Tress
Urban.
picture in
Look at
2001
Tress in 2001 as an introductory press conference. Ohio State coaches age like crazy. Like Ryan Day's definitely aged since 2018, 2019, but not as much as some of his predecessors.
No, for sure.
Look at Tressel.
Yeah.
Look at Tressel in 2001, man. Look at the 310-day speech. Still gives me chills.
It's the best.
So cool. People in Michigan must have been laughing at that. Who is this guy? Who's this guy from Youngstown State saying that they're going to come up here and beat us? Like, well, he's going to go 9-1 against you and flip this rivalry on its head. In the classroom, in the community, and most especially
310 days up in Ann Arbor
on the football field.
That was great.
And people were like, "Oh, what?" Like people are going crazy. They were playing Michigan in basketball that day. But yeah, you look at Tressel. But yeah, man, it's that will age you like a president, no doubt about it.
So the answer to this question, according to, again, over 36 analysts, coaches, players in college football, the answer for Ohio State is actually Chase Young since 2000.
Oh, wow.
I was thinking him.
You have to go back and look at his 2019 season. 46 tackles, 21 TFLs, 16.5 sacks, 3 pass breakups, and 6 forced fumbles. And, oh, yeah, by the way, he missed 2 games in there.
Oh, that's right. He was suspended.
He was suspended, and he missed 2 games.
Was a Heisman finalist.
He was a Heisman finalist, and he won.
I forgot about
the
that.
Nagurski. He won the Bednarik. They had the best defense in the country that year. And was that the year that Bosa got hurt at the beginning of the year, wasn't it?
No, that was the previous year.
That was the year before that.
Yeah.
That's right.
So that was, he got hurt. That was when Ryan was, that was the TCU game when Ryan was the interim head coach. 2019 was the Hafley one and done year.
That's right. I would have to say, if I'm just voting on this, and we've talked about Braxton way too much over these last 2 days. My love for Braxton spans far and wide.
Oh, you're a Centerville guy. You're a level Wayne guy? No, I'm kidding. No.
It's because
Dayton pride, baby.
Because I never beat him, and I was the happiest person in the world when he announced his commitment to Ohio State. You gotta put Zeke on the list.
Yeah.
I mean,
seriously,
what Ezekiel Elliott did in that season, leading to a national championship, was incredible. And then you put in the 3 games, the 3-game stretch in what he's had. I think that's a good answer. Reimer, you got another one?
1 game specific. Jackson Smith and Jigba Rose Bowl.
Oh, wow, yeah.
The JSN Rose Bowl. It's unforgettable.
Like literally the best performance by a receiver in any bowl game statistically in the history of college football. And it wasn't like nothing against the Liberty Bowl, but it wasn't in the Liberty Bowl. It was in the freaking Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
So now defense need not apply in that game for either team in that game, but it was awesome. It was fun.
Shout out to Buckeye Man on YouTube, said, what about the guy that's our linebackers coach right now? Did you guys forget about him or what? Threes. I didn't forget about him. It's called elongating your story to fill enough time. Yeah, I mean, James, obviously, 3-time All-American, won everything that you could think of. Yeah, James would be a great answer. The best part in doing these mental exercises is there's no wrong answer. You know, I mean,
would AJ be ahead of James though? Because AJ would probably be ahead of James if we're being serious. AJ was the number 5 overall pick.
If you look at both of them, they are statistical leaders for their NFL franchise in tackles all time as well.
Yeah, I'm taking James. I love James. I'm taking James as my linebackers coach. If I had to have a line, I'd probably take AJ. I'm splitting here. Speaking of Centerville, right? I'm probably taking AJ over James, but it's very close. As a linebacker.
Zach said if we're doing 1 game, you could also throw JTT against Penn State. Yes.
There you go.
I mean, nobody will ever forget that. The JT Tuimoloau tidal wave that just descended upon Happy Valley.
Oh, yes. I thought you were talking about like JT. Also, JT Barrett in 2017 turned into Joe Montana against Penn State.
Penn State, yeah.
Yeah, JT Barrett turning into and then, you're right. JTT against Penn State. He just took over that game in the 4th quarter.
That was one of the more remarkable comebacks I've ever seen. Was that where were they wearing the digital camo, the Wolves uniforms, the gray one, the all gray digital camo unis?
Saquon returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown.
Yes, it was on Halloween night.
Which is typically the kiss of death, as you know, being a Bears fan in the Super Bowl, as we know from Ted Ginn.
Yep.
I remember I was covering that game at that stupid stadium in Glendale. Ted Ginn's running right at us, and because we're in the auxiliary press box.
We're gonna win.
And it's like, oh yeah, this Urban Meyer loser, like going against Jim Tressel. Good luck, the opening kickoff touchdown. Yeah, we're gonna kill him, and then it didn't go well after that.
100 days left until the Buckeyes kick off against Texas. We're gonna pick Bid's brain on his biggest storylines of the offseason so far. Next, it's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores, so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties or buy 2, get 3 free with your card. Limit 10. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
I think I just wrote the song of the summer. Listen. That's just you drinking a Big Gulp from Speedway. And just 89 cents for any size with Speedy Rewards? That's a hit. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 6/24/25. See app for full terms.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. Their semi-annual sale includes 4 free windows with the purchase of 4 windows, a free entry door, and no money down interest or payments until 2027. Hurry, the sale ends soon. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com today.
As America's largest custom home builder, Schumacher Homes believes a top-quality home should be affordable for everyone in the Buckeye State. We work with the leading architects to bring you the latest in design, and then you have the ability to make changes. Not just selecting finishes, but moving walls, adding rooms, literally customizing anything from the ground up. It's a misconception that custom homes have to be expensive. We work within your budget to build an amazing home on your land. Visit SchumacherHomes.com or any of our 9 Ohio locations.
Things are popping at Al's Delicious Popcorn. With over 80 flavors to choose from, we have something for everyone. From classics like caramel cashew, white cheddar, and our famous vanilla butternut, to new flavors like chicken and waffles and spicy barbecue. They are all made fresh and they are all delicious. Visit us online at alspopcorn.com or come see us and experience the best service in town at 1500 Bethel Road in Columbus. Al's Delicious Popcorn.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
It's time for your daily dose of vitamin B. B stands for Buckeyes, just in case that wasn't clear. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Oh, we were just talking about if you had to send one Buckeye out since the turn of the century. And thanks again for watching and interacting on the YouTube machine. You can always do that. You can type in 97.1 The Fan on YouTube and watch, whether it's on your phone or at home on your smart TV. And one game, Buckeye Slayers. That's a fun game to play, is it not?
Yes.
Just like maybe not even an out of nowhere performance, but just a once in a lifetime performance that you got to witness.
Archie Griffin against North Carolina.
Yeah, that's
1970. Archie Griffin's like coming out party as a true freshman. First year freshman could play. You guys remember this well, I'm sure. 1972, right?
That was
that's what started. That started it all.
20 years before I was.
Who is this? Who is this little guy?
Who's this
guy running for like 200 yards against North Carolina? Archie freaking Griffin. There you go.
He's pretty good.
He's pretty good.
Ended up having a decent career, I think. I have to track down his stats and what his accomplishments and accolades were, but I think he ended up having a pretty good time at Ohio State, yeah?
He has as many statues as he does Heisman's.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Maybe he has more than that. I don't know. He has one at Ohio Stadium and one at the Rose Bowl.
Nate
pretty
says
good.
On YouTube, and I don't know how we forgot about this, Troy Smith.
I thought about Troy. He's the only one to win a Heisman this century.
Yes, he is.
For the Buckeyes.
He won't be the only one to win a Heisman this century.
As I told you, I wish, speaking of guys that won a Heisman for the Buckeyes, Eddie George in the 90s. But what I tell you, Beamer, if we're including the 90s, this would be very easy for me. I'd say Orlando Pace, the defense rests.
Yeah.
Like, good luck.
DeVere asked me last night, he goes, you played offensive line. Who was your offensive lineman growing up? And I told him, like, Tony Baselli, but Orlando Pace was always number one. Like, he was the dude.
Think about like his resume, like what he did at Ohio State. Just that just that. So he won the Lombardi, he won the Outland, one of them he won twice. He finished 4th for the Heisman as an offensive lineman as a junior.
They created the term pancake because of him.
Yes, started his first game as a true freshman at left tackle and just dominated. Then, so if you just look at his Ohio State career, it's like, wow, in those 3 years, look at what he did. Then, he's the number 1 overall pick of the draft. Is like a Pro Bowler like every year until maybe I think his last year. Won a Super Bowl. I mean, in the Hall of Fame, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, I mean, Orlando Pace is as decorated as they come, but that would be cheating. So I'm sticking with J.J. Smith, even though he's only played 1 year at Ohio State, because I keep saying, of all these, like, there's like 20 great receivers or however many great receivers that come out of here. I think he's going to go down as the best. I know it's just 1 year, but we saw what we saw.
Yeah.
Like, we saw what we saw.
Our eyes don't lie.
And he's a hard worker, Beamer. Like, we know there were 3 guys named Iron Buckeye by Mick during the offseason, Coach Day, right? Austin Saraveld, Sonny Styles, and J.J. Smith.
For the 2nd year in a row, because he also won it as a true freshman.
And
he's the only freshman to ever win that.
It's crazy. Like, he's not, like, resting on his laurels. He's not getting a big head. He had every reason to have a big head coming in as a 5-star number 1 player in the country. Didn't he? Humble. Worked his butt off. Then he just becomes a superstar as a true freshman. You talk to him after the season, still same guy. Coming into spring, same guy, humble, worked his butt off, Iron Buckeye. I mean, it's almost too good to be true, this J.J. Smith story, how good he is, how naturally talented it is, and how good of a guy he is and how hard he works. So, yeah, I'm sticking with J.J. Smith. But, man, there's you could seriously make a good argument for a bunch of guys. Troy Smith is a great example.
In the one-game Buckeye Slayers, thanks to Jeff Rimmer's middle half on Twitter, or on the YouTube chat, he said Noah Brown, Oklahoma.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's like 3 touchdowns?
5 catches, 72 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Oh, 4 touchdowns.
And one of them was the body wrap
That's
hug.
right.
That was a pretty incredible experience down there in Norman. I got to experience that live, and the game was actually delayed because there was a huge thunderstorm that came in.
That's right. It was a Jerome Baker that had a pick 6 against Baker. Baker against Baker.
Yeah,
Jerome.
It was Jerome because wasn't that the basic?
Jerome
wasn't
Baker?
that the basic defense? That was the basic defense.
And they were like Wilt Chamberlain after the game. They had that little paper that said basic defense. Like, it's instead of having 100 on it, it said basic defense. Because obviously, was it their backup quarterback?
Yes, it was.
The backup quarterback said Ohio State.
Their version of the Lantern TV would be. Find bulletin board material at any cost. That game ended up 45-24. Buckeyes got a win. We don't need to talk about the flag planting that ensued
I can't remember what happened the next year. You're right.
100 days left to go until Ohio State kicks off the season against Texas. What for you are you looking at? I mean, I know that the transfer portal is mostly done. They added Eli Brickhandler. We're not anticipating that to be much of an addition other than coming in, running scout team. But for you, what needs to happen between now and maybe the start of camp? What's the most interesting thing you were looking at?
Yeah, I hate to be a broken record, but depth at D tackle. They have to find some good depth at D tackle. And I think Will Smith Jr. can provide that, presuming he's not going to be a starter. So I think Caden McDonald and Edric Houston will be the starters, but I think Will Smith Jr. can step up now as a third-year sophomore, be that top backup. Who else can provide depth there? Jason Moore, another guy entering his third year sophomore. Tywone Malone, it's now or never for him, Beamer. He was a big-time recruit, went down to Ole Miss, played baseball and football there, transferred to Ohio State. He's just now focused on football now for 3 years. Again, it's now or never. He's a fifth-year senior. This is it for Tywone Malone. You also have Eric Mensah, a true freshman. He's one of the bigger guys they have. Caden McDonald's the biggest, obviously.
Yeah, he's a mountain.
But Mensah's about 6'3", 315, redshirt freshman. They need... Let's presume Will Smith is going to be the top backup. They need one of those guys, Jason Moore, Eric Mensah, one of those guys, Tywone Malone, to step up and provide depth, because obviously we know the starters were fantastic for Ohio State on the D-line last year, but they also had really good depth. I mean, Caden McDonald came off the bench last year and was huge in being a part of that goal line defense. They had the best red zone defense and the best goal line defense in the country last year.
How many goal line stands did they have last year?
It's
5, 6?
How about that Texas game, man? They had first and goal at the 1, then it was second goal at the 2, then it was third and goal at the 9.
It was sunny.
Then it was touchdown Ohio State. It was like, that was good.
We were watching that play last night with DeVere, and you see Caleb Downs and Lathan like an absolute rocket ship on that second down.
Gosh, we're going to be talking. That's the best safety tandem. Jeez, you can even imagine right there, because, Caleb's going to be a first-round pick next year. Lathan was a fourth-round pick. And dare I say that was a steal getting him in the 4th round. He was just a bone crusher.
He was. He knocked Arch Manning out of the game.
He's just. Jeez, and he was Cody Simon was breaking helmets.
Yep.
Lathan Ransom was knocked. Who knocked the Tennessee running back out of the game? I lose track. Was that Ransom or was that Simon?
I think that was
That might have been Sonny.
So pick your guy.
Here's the thing. Here's another thing about how well the defense played in the CFP, and you guys will know this. Like, I don't think they had any. Let me think about this. I don't think they had any targeting penalties or any like.
No, they had Arvell Reese targeting penalty in Nebraska.
Oh no, I mean in the CFP run.
They should have got one on Lathan against Oregon in the Rose Bowl, but thankfully they didn't look back.
They were laying monster hits on dudes, knocking guys out of the game, just absolutely just like nailing people. And yeah, maybe that should have been one, but like for the most part, they were doing it legally, and they were just like they found like the zone of like not missing tackles, absolutely crushing dudes, but not getting like game-changing penalties. It was like I don't know, it was the perfect storm.
Spot.
Yeah, yes, sir.
It was the sweet spot for sure. I think we have a winner for the one game Buckeye award. If you were going to throw anybody out here, and this was a great poll. Shout out to Nate on YouTube. Trey Sermon against Northwestern.
Oh my gosh.
Trey Sermon in that game.
The record breaker.
29 carries, 331 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Broke Eddie's record by a lot. I remember thinking Eddie's record would stay forever. Like, yeah. And listen, like that, they probably don't win the game without him, which is crazy. That's the Big Ten championship game against Northwestern. That was a game in the fourth quarter, like a close game.
I mean, it was.
They had the Colts logo on the field too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they didn't do the Big Ten.
It's a great call
because of COVID.
Yeah,
couldn't put the Big Ten logo on it because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what happened.
And Trey Sermon will always have that famous picture against Clemson as well,
looking right up at the camera.
So good, like that little corny face, but awesome that he had. Like I don't know what happened to Trey Sermon early that year. I was thinking like, this guy doesn't really have it. You know, Master Teague is probably the better back, and then
he went for 193 against Clemson too.
That's what I'm saying. Something happened to Trey Sermon late in that year. I was like, geez, he just got possessed. Like, good for him. He turned into a monster, and of course got hurt the first play of the game against Alabama. Like the Buckeyes weren't already depleted enough with like 20 guys out because of COVID.
Yeah,
Bama had nobody out. Well, how about the luck there?
We had Tough Borland guarding Devontae Smith. Well, that was going to be a long night, anyways. I've kind of blacked that game out, honestly. I don't even really remember that game.
Seriously, just beating and not only beating Clemson, but beating the crap out of them. Like that was Ohio State had never beaten Clemson before, and it lost to them on some big stages, starting with Woody Hayes.
Yep.
You know, I mean, some things that happened, like some blowouts.
The Orange Bowl back in
31-0 happened. Yeah, the Orange Bowl. Von Bell had that one-handed interception, but not a lot. Taj Boyd, who was not a running quarterback, had like the longest run of his career. You had that blowout, 31-0. And then for them to, really, I think the 2019 game was stolen from Ohio State. Some of those replay calls in the 2019 game against Clemson were just bogus to me. But then for Ohio State in 2020 to come out there and blow out Clemson, that was huge. You're right. Like, even though Ohio State lost to Bama in the championship game, got blown out really. I think Ohio State, even at full strength, Beamer probably would not have beaten that Bama team. Mm-hmm. But just Ohio State getting to the championship game that year was nice to see, just to get over that Clemson hump.
Yeah, absolutely it was. You felt like at that point you had kind of had momentum and you took it away from them. And then they haven't really been the same. They've got momentum back now. Clemson and Dabo do. I'll give them credit down there. A lot of the preseason polls are liking them. But for the moment, you have kept them at bay. We'll do #Buckeyes coming at you next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Whatever you're doing right now, just know that Bo Bishop is enjoying a sip of bourbon, even if this promo is playing in the morning. No judgment.
Oh, sweet morning drinking.
The Fan.
Everybody poops, everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
We've discovered the perfect morning ritual, the 2 for $6 breakfast sandwich deal at Tim Hortons. Every sandwich is made to order with a freshly cracked egg and melty cheese, just the way breakfast should be. Choose between savory sausage or hickory smoked bacon, served on a toasted English muffin or flaky biscuit. There's no wrong way to mix and match this tasty deal. 2 breakfast sandwiches, just $6. Perfect. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, single item at regular menu price. Modifications and tax extra. Exclusions and additional terms apply.
It's Kubota Orange Days. From America's #1 selling compact tractor to zero-turn mowers and versatile RTVs, get your perfect match delivered to your door. Now through June 30th, get 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,500 off BX23S tractors. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Visit BuckeyeKubotaDealers.com to find a dealer near you.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
Donato's is bringing you huge savings on a large pizza. For a limited time, get any large one-topping Donato's pizza for just $10.99 when you order online and pick it up. That's right, just $10.99. I'm going with that pepperoni. But hey, you pick your favorite topping, then pick up your large one-topping pizza for just $10.99 when you order online using promo code PICKUP. That's promo code PICKUP. Pick up your Donato's and save today.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, community banking is the lifeblood of the American financial system, building strong, lasting relationships. We're just better able to help guide you down life's road. Flexibility is paramount to success. Community banking is alive and well in the Heartland. I'm Scott McComb. Come on over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Morning Juice is now live on YouTube. Join Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Thidoff weekday mornings from 6 to 8.
Just search 971 The Fan to catch the live experience or watch on demand.
The Fan.
Patients everywhere are experiencing joint pain relief thanks to QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. So how does this non-surgical approach work? QC Kinetics Medical Director Dr. Aaron Wolkoff explains.
It's like when you get a paper cut and the cells that come onto that scene first stop the bleeding, and then it recruits more cells to form new skin and new soft tissue. And then you look down a week later, 2 weeks later, and it's like nothing happened and that paper cut never existed.
In this same way, QC Kinetics uses your natural biologics to help repair and restore aching knees, hips, shoulders, and backs.
We take those same similar cells in different areas that are arthritic, are painful, and we cause this kind of internal self-healing that can resolve patients' pain.
Relief without surgery. See if you're a candidate for QC Kinetics regenerative treatments.
Call QC Kinetics 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Right Way Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Social media can be a cesspool. Allow us to navigate the waters. #Buckeyes.
Sponsored by The Waterworks. Call the plumbing, heating, and cooling technicians at The Waterworks and header today. Call 614-232-2222. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
So we were talking about goal line stands in our last segment as well. And Zach on YouTube said the goal line stand, the interception that Davis and Igbinosun had against Penn State at the end of the first half was insane. Yes, I agree with that. Without that, you don't win the game. And also without Denzel Burke pushing Tyler Warren out and chasing him down and pushing him out at like the 2-yard line, that goal line stand never happens as well. So both of those elite effort plays managed to get you out of Happy Valley with a victory where you milked the end of the game for like the last 6 minutes and 35 seconds with just straight up running the ball.
That's a great call. And like, I'm very guilty of like almost forgetting great things that happened during the regular season because I've been so focused on the postseason, that 4-game run and like everything that happened there and all the amazing things that happened. But yeah, that's a great call. Like that pick by IGB was huge. And IGB coming back is huge. I really thought he would turn pro beamer, and I think he made the right call. He knows he needs to get less handsy.
Most penalized defensive back in America.
But it's like I'm not even joking when I say this. Other than that, no. But seriously, like other than that, he is always in good position. Almost always. Great size. And he's not just one of these like tall, lanky corners that's like not physical. He's physical. He'll tackle you. He's got, he's fast. I think they're going to coach that out of him.
He loves to
a
talk.
certain degree. Yeah, and I don't mind that out of my corners. I kind of like that. I think they'll coach that out of him to a certain degree. We saw that he got a little bit better at that toward the end of the year last year. Man, this secondary, they were BIA last year. They like to call themselves best in America. They definitely were last year in the secondary. I think they will be this year, despite the fact losing Denzel Burke, losing Lathan Ransom, losing Jordan Hancock. Look how loaded they are with Caleb Downs and Jermaine. Exactly.
Devin Sanchez, welcome aboard as well.
Yes, sir. And I think Jalen McClain is going to be a starting safety. You have some good depth there with Malik Hartford, who could be a starter. I think it'll be McClain. Fahim Delane's going to add some good depth there.
Aaron Scott will be interested to see what he can do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have like 5-star corners as your backups with Aaron Scott and Devin Sanchez. You got Bryce West in the mix. They're loaded in the secondary, and they're very well coached with Tim Wilton and Matt Guerreri.
I just saw this in from Adam Jardy. We have been talking about Ohio State basketball for these last couple of days and how Rhyme Time has been all over Darian Williams. We were doing a story yesterday where Joe Lenardi released his bracketology on May 21st for next season's NCAA tournament. Thought it was crazy at the time that you would actually do something like that, but hey, the offseason never sleeps, and he had Ohio State in as a 4 seed, and Reimer agreed with that. The one reason he agreed with that, he said, I will agree that Ohio State is a top 16 team in the NCAA, all of college basketball, if they can land Texas Tech transfer Darian Williams, who reportedly was in the mix between Ohio State, Kansas, and NC State. Reimer, do you want to break the news? Or do you want me to do it? Because I know it's bad news for you.
I'll do it.
All right, go ahead.
He is going to NC State.
Yeah, he's going to NC State. So he didn't pick the Buckeyes and he didn't pick Kansas. That's a huge get for Will Wade.
Yeah, he is having himself an off season.
Yeah.
Their portal class is ridiculous.
He's not shy of throwing around bags full of cash.
No.
Will Wade's not afraid of that.
But now it's legal. So, really, we got, outbid by NC State? Come on.
Yeah, what are we doing here? But yeah, Darian Williams is going to NC State, so he's not going to be with the Buckeyes. Where does Deebs go from here, Rhyme Time? I mean, where does he go?
I mean, you still got some spots available. I would like to see them add some depth at the 3.
Okay.
Get some more scoring and more defense there. I think Royal can still be good there. It's just getting that depth piece to it as well.
Yeah, they really have nothing else because they have Colin White, who I know was Mr. Basketball in Ohio, but it was like maybe the weakest year for Mr. Basketball voting in Ohio. A guy that was the runner-up was a guy that was at Wright State this past year that redshirted. Wasn't even good enough to play at Wright State. But Colin White maybe eventually will be a decent player, but he's the only other one they have other than Royal. Am I missing somebody? They really have Royal, who really is more like a 4, like undersized 4, and Colin White. Yeah, man, I was really hoping they'd land Darian Williams. That would have been huge. They have one spot to fill. That would have been perfect. That really would have filled out this team. I like the backcourt. I like what they've done with the front court. They need a not that he would have been a carbon copy of Micah Parrish. They need a Micah Parrish for this year. They did a really bad job in the portal last year, as we all know, except for Micah Parrish. They were like 1 for 5, right? But he was the one. They need to get somebody like that. I think they've done a good job in the portal this year, but they're one player away for sure.
Yeah, so Darian Williams going to NC State. So back to the drawing board. We'll find somebody else to fill out this roster. I did see this today from the Memorial Tournament. Again, round number 1 beginning next Thursday over at Muirfield Village Golf Club. You did have some big-time commits today to the Village for next week. Can I interest you in former Memorial Tournament champion Victor Hovland, one unbelievably young, talented golfer, Ludwig Oberg. Jordan Spieth joins the field. Big Tone, Tony Finau joins the field, and then a Ricky Fowler all today committing to the Memorial Tournament. So every big dog that you want that is on the PGA Tour has committed to the Memorial Tournament, which, I mean, it's outside of a major, it's as good a field as you are going to get.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And that's the respect that these young men have for Jack, and rightfully so, the best ever. I mean, some people might say Tiger's the best ever. I get that. In my opinion, Jack's the best ever.
I mean, look at the scoreboard. It's 18-15. I'm a big Tiger guy, all right? You're never going to find a bigger Tiger guy than me. You can argue most dominant golfer of all time. I think maybe Tiger overtakes him in that conversation. But when you're going straight major for major, I would also like to live. We've been doing a lot of alternate universes this week. Like if we could pop into an alternate universe. I would also like to hop into an alternate universe where Tiger never gets injured and to see what that looks like for his career.
Absolutely. Another thing with Jack, in addition to having the lead 18-15 over Tiger as far as majors, is how many second place finishes Jack had at majors. It's insane.
It's crazy. Was it more than first place finishes?
Yeah, I believe
think
it
was
is.
like
Yeah,
20.
I'm looking it up right now.
It was
barely more, 19.
Okay, so it was 19.
So we had 18
and then second
wins and then 19 runners. I mean, absolutely insane. And he's from a great city, I hear.
Yeah, that's what I hear as well. A little UA for him. The greatest
I was
golfer.
going to say Columbus. But yeah, UA. Yeah, specifically, of course.
The Golden Bear, man.
Exactly.
Give UA some shout.
Yeah.
The greatest golfer to ever live. That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good title. Whenever you walk on the Ohio State golf course, they have that as a big plaque. Home of the greatest golfer to ever play. Like, that's a pretty cool sign. That would be a nice sign to have. What are you getting into tonight, Bids? What are you doing?
Nothing much, man. It's been a busy day. I'm just going to go relax, maybe watch a little bit of this NBA game. I'm hoping the T-Wolves win. Not that I'm a T-Wolves fan, but I'm a Mike Conley fan. And Mike Conley is having one of the best careers of an Ohio State basketball player ever. He's played in over 100 playoff games now. He's played in more than a full season of just playoff games in his career. So go T-Wolves, go Mike Conley.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching that tonight, and then I'm just going to be hanging out. Just that's all
chilling.
I'm doing. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Meredith, her last day of school with kids was today, so they're at a little soiree right now. So I'm gonna go pick her up from that. So that's what I've got going on. Rhyme time, you're our basketball guy. Who's winning tonight? Is it Thunder 2-0 or are we split heading back to Mini?
I'm not liking the vibes looking here with OKC rolling out with the blue jerseys. I'm always a big
whites.
Wear your home whites at home. So I think that's bad vibes for them, and the Timberwolves are going to go back to Minnesota.
Okay.
1-1.
All right, 1-1. Split the series. By the way, a little baseball update for you. Gardo's up 3-0 against the Tigers. Live look in up in Cleveland right now. Or actually, they're in Detroit. It looks awful. The weather looks exactly like what we're having here. It's a nice little Scotland night for you. Bids, I had a great time today. What do you say we do it again tomorrow? You good with that?
Sounds good to me, my friend.
Everybody have an awesome Thursday. ESPN Radio is up next. We're back tomorrow. Talk to you then. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Bobby Carpenter demands that you watch Morning Juice on YouTube. If you don't, Tito will move into your house.
Live at 6 a.m. on YouTube and streaming on the Fan app.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we're here to help keep you on the road so you can soak up all the summer fun. The road tunes.
Take me out to the ball game.
Hotel pools. Emergency ice cream stops. The sunscreen and bug spray everywhere.
It's in my eyes!
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we're here for it all. So stop in for a quick oil change before you go. Only takes about 15 minutes. No appointment needed.
I think I just wrote the song of the summer. Listen. That's just you drinking a big gulp from Speedway. And just 89 cents for any size with Speedy Rewards? That's a hit. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 6/24/25. See app for full terms.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could dump all your problems on someone else's back? Well, when you wake up to a clogged drain or a plumbing issue, make that Mr. Rooter's problem.
Call 855-MISTERS today or MrRooter.com.
Call Mr. Rooter, he'll be there quick.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Health insurance companies are expected to carry health benefits, but CareSource does so much more. We look beyond doctors' offices and hospitals to see the challenges that face our members. Then we help them achieve not just better health, but better lives. Along with great benefits, we also help our members find stable jobs, housing, childcare, and rides so they can find greater independence. At CareSource, we're removing barriers. We're improving lives. We're reimagining healthcare.
AgPro has been family-owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
Attention Columbus. Town Properties just clinched the title of the largest residential property manager in Columbus, thanks to the Columbus Business Journal. With pride, we oversee 25,000 plus households in the Columbus metro area, ensuring fantastic places to call home. Whether you're on the hunt for an exceptional living space, a top-notch association management company, or a property manager for your multifamily portfolio, visit our website at town-properties.com and let us elevate your living experience. Town Properties, always managing great places to live.